WRSR, Owasso, Flint. The following program has been pre-recorded and is paid for by Discover Flint Township. The views expressed are those of Discover Flint Township and do not necessarily reflect the views of 103.9 The Fox or Krill Communications, Inc. Welcome to Discover Flint Township, a program showcasing our local community. Flint Township is ready for your next move. And now, your host, Flint Township Economic Enhancement Director, Tracy Tucker.
This is Discover Flint Township, brought to you by Flint Township Economic Development Authorities, HAP Financial Plus Credit Union, and Shea Automotive Group. We're wide awake, and we hope you are too. All right, so now we're going to move on to our business spotlight, which we have our new sponsor, Guaranteed Rate, is helping us to shine a spotlight on our local Flint Township businesses. And today we have one of my favorite people, David Gaines from Gaines Jewelry. Hi, David.
Hi, how are you, Tracy?
I'm good. So why don't you introduce yourself and let everyone know what you do at Gaines Jewelry?
Oh boy. Well, I'm David Gaines. I'm the president of Gaines Jewelry, and what do I do? My father always used to, when people would ask my dad what he did at the business, he would always say, "I'm the owner and the janitor." So anyone who owns a business knows that means you do whatever you need to do. So, but I'm the president of the company and try to keep things on task. But I have a great staff, so that isn't too much work, thank goodness.
Yeah, so it was a family business. Your dad
still is a
started
family business. Yeah, my dad started our store 1963, actually, and I'm the second generation, and both my kids, we were third generation, both work in the store as well. So it truly is a family operation.
Yeah, so how did your dad get started in it?
You know, I could go all day about my dad's story. My dad really lived the American dream. He grew up very impoverished in Arkansas and Missouri, which a lot of people growing up in the late 20s and early 30s, grew up impoverished, but worked hard and ended up going to serve in World War II. Mm-hmm. And once he got back from serving in World War II and coming back to Missouri, the mechanization of farming was come along, and there wasn't much need for labor like there had been. Mm-hmm. And so really kind of on a dare, he used the GI Bill to pay for a watchmaking school that would travel around to different towns in the area and the farming communities there and to teach trades. And so he learned watchmaking. And that kind of started him on the path to being in the jewelry business. He started repairing watches at a drugstore and said he realized he couldn't make a living getting up to sell toothpaste every 5 minutes. So he opened his own little shop and realized again that you can only do so much repairing. So he started, selling more watches, and that's how he got started. He moved to
what part of Missouri was he from?
He was from near Gideon, Missouri.
Near Gideon,
yeah, which is a small little.
Is that central,
small little
or is that?
It's down near the Boot Heel.
Oh, down by Malden and all
exactly.
that. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I have family from down there.
Yeah, everyone up here does.
Everyone
up here does. They all have family. Yeah. So he literally was born and grew up on a ridge in the mountains in Arkansas, and it's a great story. And he always used to say, only in this country could someone who came from where he came from just work hard and get ahead and make something for themselves. And he would, he would always say, provide for his family. And so that was what he was all about. So.
Yeah, my dad was from Arkansas, and around that area, but he was in Crowley's Ridge, Leaf, Arkansas.
Oh, yeah.
Paragould. Everybody up here, you ask them where they're from, they're like Paragould.
Right, because that's
none of them are from Paragould.
No,
they're from either Leif or Piggott or
Yeah.
Now, my husband's mom is from New Madrid area.
Yeah, sure.
So we have lots of family down that way.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, we kind of veered off here.
That's okay. So he opened a store in 1963. He and my mom, and he always tell the story that. My mom asked him when they first opened the store, what are we going to do if this doesn't work? Of course, his answer was always, this has to work. This is all we have. We have to sleep here, live here. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of the approach that he took. And he just...
That determination to succeed.
Exactly.
The American dream.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Work hard and have it pay off and have your hard work rewarded. And he was fortunate enough to do that.
So, so you've been in business 58 years,
right?
Right.
Yeah.
And you're independent an independent store, right?
Right.
You're the oldest one in the area, right?
Right, exactly. And independent, a lot of jewelry stores operate today with a corporate office where, the policies that they have, and especially the merchandise that they receive, is kind of just sent down from a main office somewhere. And being independent means we literally don't have to just take what a head office sends down to us. We literally handpick every piece of inventory that comes into our store, which translates into we're able to find, some of the industry's best values, some of the more unique items. And if I'm not comfortable with the quality of a piece, and comfortable enough to put my name on it, it's just not going to go in the case. So
nice.
We feel good, being able to do that. There's plenty of places to buy jewelry today. I mean, my goodness,
Sure.
You can buy jewelry, department stores, wholesale clubs, online, wherever. But there aren't too many really true full-service jewelry stores, even fewer that are family-owned and operated today.
Right. So, full disclosure, Gaines Jewelry is one of my favorite jewelry stores. And I am wearing, I didn't even realize it when I put it on today, but when I got here, I realized I had put on a necklace that my daughter had bought me from Gaines.
That's right. I noticed it when I came in the door.
And, as I said, one of my favorites, my dad only bought my mother's jewelry from Gaines. Every nice piece of jewelry that my mother has that my dad bought her over the years was bought from your dad or you.
Yep.
So, yeah. So, long history there, too. I
is.
remember when you were up on Flushing Road.
That's
so.
right. It was a hallway. It was just a little bitty room with one window.
Yeah. And now you're on Beecher Road.
Currently on Beecher Road, yep.
But we're going to talk more about that, though, later.
Right.
So you were talking about that as full service, because I'll tell you, I was just in there the other day, and this is not a paid for announcement because I paid for what I had done, but I had to get my ring repaired. So when you're talking full service, what does that mean in the jewelry business?
Well, full service in my industry means that all our work is done in our facility, which again is not common today. But I have 3 goldsmiths on staff, my son being one of them, working in our store, doing repairing, designing, creating jewelry for our customers or for our inventory. We even have a clockmaker on staff, which is really a rarity today.
Yeah, you never hear of that.
No, you really don't. And being my father's passion for the jewelry industry started with watch and clock repair, I'm just proud to be able to say that we have a clockmaker on staff. His office currently is right next to my office. So every hour on the hour, there's cuckoo clocks going off. There's all kinds of chimes and stuff going off. It's for a guy like me, it's music to my ears. But it's something that jewelry stores, and here again, we're a working store. And
I took my wedding ring in. I had not had it checked in years, and I had them check the prongs of my ring. Thank goodness I did, because 2 of them were gone. And but I left my ring there. I didn't have to worry about it being sent somewhere, being lost in the mail, and all that stuff. And they fixed it. I got my wedding ring back. I left it there on a Friday, and I think I got it back on Monday or Tuesday. So really, that was my own fault because I left it on a Friday. I could have got it back quicker probably. But my point is, you don't have to worry about stuff being shipped. You don't have to worry about all that if you're worried about leaving your ring somewhere.
No, and these days with the pandemic, shipping anything anywhere is just kind of a nightmare.
Crazy.
So, fortunately, I with the position that we're in, I haven't had to worry about that.
Yeah. So what's your favorite part of being in the jewelry business?
Oh, gosh. The jewelry business is so fun to be a part of. And we can sometimes forget that when we go to work every day. But I really get to work around precious, many times expensive items. It's almost like, working in a museum, except we're in a jewelry store. I encourage people to touch things and hold things, and, they can even take things home with them. And, you get arrested for that in a museum. But we encourage that in the jewelry business. But so that's really cool. I think what I enjoy most, though, is the people. I'm getting to interact with people when they are many times at some of the happiest points of their life. They're celebrating an engagement, a marriage, an anniversary, a birthday, a birth of a child. And it's really, it's a humbling honor to be invited into a pretty important part of someone's life.
People's celebrations. Yeah,
exactly.
That's cool. That's cool. I never thought about it like that, but yeah, that would be an interesting part of the job. And, you're also a great community partner. You've been here forever, like you said, since 1963. And recently, you had a promotion to help others. Did you want to tell anybody about that?
Sure. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. My father taught my sister and I from an early age how important it is to be active in the community and give back to the community. And Flint's been so good to my family, so I think it's important to give back and to do that through our support of many local organizations or faith-based groups. The promotion that we did this past Christmas was really fun because, restaurants, if you remember, were completely closed down to dine in,
right?
Takeout only. And many restaurants were really struggling, and many of them are my customers. And so we came up with the concept. We had a fun little TV ad teasing that we were going to invite everyone to my house for dinner. But because of COVID, we couldn't do that. So I went to 20 that I could just think of independently owned local restaurants and just bought gift certificates from them at full price and gave them out with purchases at the store. And, it was, usually selling a gift card to a restaurant isn't a huge deal, but during that time, it meant a lot.
It meant a lot to those businesses. And we actually, I saw that. And we pushed that out on Facebook, just letting everybody know what was going on. And I know that those local restaurants really appreciated the business.
Right.
And a little birdie told me.
Those little birdies have big mouths.
I know, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. They told me you had some news from our listeners that you're on Beach Road right now, but what's going on?
Right. We're starting to it's been in the works for a while, but we're starting to talk about it more now. Sometime after Mother's Day, probably mid-May, we'll be moving our current location, which is on Beachy Road. We've been there for 22 years. We're moving it to Linden Road in the plaza right in front of Hobby Lobby next to FedEx Kinko's there. It's going to give us the opportunity. It's a store that's twice the size of our current store. It'll allow us to do many of the things that we have always wanted to do but haven't had the room to do. Customers will be able to actually look into our shop and see those goldsmiths that I talk about, practicing their craft, creating jewelry, repairing jewelry. They'll also be able to watch our clockmaker repairing clocks. So there's many other improvements, but it's exciting.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, you know what? Let's give your website out. And your address.
Yeah, well, at this point, again, we're still on Beecher Road, about a half mile west of McLaren Hospital. We share a parking lot with what used to be Diplomat Pharmacy there. And then after Mother's Day, we'll be there on Linden Road. Our website, of course, you can reach us 24/7, 7 days a week, and that is gainesjewelry.com. And it's a fully functional website. You can go on there. There are specials, our clearance cases in there, some fantastic values there. It's also a way just to kind of keep up with the latest news that's going on with the company.
Great. And we're so happy that you're staying in Flint Township.
As are we, yeah.
I know, right?
Yep.
It's been great having you here today. Thanks for coming in. I would like to remind our listeners, if you have any questions for us, please email discoverflinttownship@gmail.com or visit us on Facebook at Flint Township Events. You can find all of our shows on our YouTube channel, Discover Flint Township, or if you would like information on available properties or any other information about Flint Township, you can visit our web pages, discoverflinttownship.com or flinttownship.org. That's O-R-G. I would once again like to thank everyone for listening today, and thanks to all our guests. It's been fun. It's been fun having you here today, David. And thanks to our partners, HAP, Shea Automotive Group, Financial Plus Credit Union, and Fox 103.9, and Guaranteed Rate. I'd like to remind you that I'm Tracy Tucker, the Flint Township Economic Enhancement Director, and tell you to stay safe, stay healthy, shop local, buy local, and discover Flint Township. See you later.
This has been Discover Flint Township with Tracy Tucker. For more information, visit discoverflinttownship.com. Flint Township is ready for your next move. The preceding program was pre-recorded and was paid for by Discover Flint Township. The views expressed are those of Discover Flint Township and do not necessarily reflect the views of 103.9 The Fox or Krill Communications, Inc.